What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here. In today's video, we are trying Fairy Wind Mawile here on the safe swap. My goodness, this takes a lot of people by surprise. We're running it with Venusaur and Galarian Stunfisk, a really solid core in the Great League, and that safe swap Mawile will take those fighters by surprise because Fairy Wind gains the same energy as Mudshot, Thundershock, and Psycho Cut. Very high energy gaining move with Play Rough and Power Up Punch as a shield bait. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Araquanid. So, I'm not the biggest fan of this lead matchup, so we're going to swap out right away into the Mawile, and they swap out at the same time into the Sableye. Look at the damage that Fairy Wind is doing right now to this Sableye. That is disgusting amount of fast move damage, and here comes the Play Rough. Sableye, are you ready? I don't think it is. Boom! One-shots it! Sableye couldn't have been deleted any faster. My goodness. Mawile does good against a lot of Pokemon. Here comes a Mew. It's up next. Look at how much... I mean, Fairy Wind, mind you, gains energy very quickly, but it also chunks a good amount of health unless you're resisting it. So we land another Play Rough. There we go. And I'm like, you know what? This is Mawile's game. We're going to go ahead and give up shields and let Mawile just win this game for us. So we're just going to go ahead and farm down. We're going to go for Power Up Punch right away. It's going to be boosting our attack, doing some chip damage, and Mawile, oh, especially when players are ready, they're not ready right now for Play Rough. So I've been able to land Play Roughs, but when they are ready, they're anticipating the Play Rough, you have the Power Up Punch shield bait, and it makes your Fairy Wind just do that much more damage. Here comes Araquanid, which we are heavily resisting. Mind you, we are Fairy Steel. So these Play Roughs now are boosted, and we are now forcing shields. This is Mawile's game, and we're all just living into it. We're going to get to another Play Rough. No, I go for the Power Up Punch right here at the last second. Want to do a little bit of extra chip damage before we close this game out. They decide to no-shield it, but we can come in with Galarian Stunfisk now. Now, one thing, if you guys haven't already noticed, what I noticed after doing like 2 sets with this team, it's really weak to Talonflame. I found that out the hard way. So maybe try something else, maybe like Pelipper on the lead, something else that is a anti-fighter, anti-swampert kind of on the lead, and pair it with Galarian Stunfisk and the Mawile safe swap. It is absolutely beautiful. So we're going to go ahead, let these bubble beams go through and just kind of close this game out now with Galarian Stunfisk going for these rock slides. I think I do swap into Venusaur here at some point after they decide to expel the energy. That way I can force that final shield and kind of close this game out because these bubble beam debuffs are adding up. So we're going to come in with the Venusaur right now and just go straight for the Frenzy Plant. And this is going to be a good game. But what is so cool about Mawile is traditionally it was a Fire Fang or an Ice Fang or a Bite. It was all about just the fast move damage, but now it can do so well with charge moves. Alright, so we got a Bastiodon on the lead now. They do swap out into Trevenant, so we're actually going to stay in this matchup with Venusaur because we have Galarian Stunfisk in the back for the Bastiodon, and if we can get ourselves shield advantage, we are looking pretty good. The Sludge Bomb does get shielded. And this is always a tough situation here when you're facing off against a Trevenant because Seed Bomb is resisted, but Shadow Ball one-shots. So we shield, and it was a Seed Bomb, which is unfortunate. I'm going to go straight for the Frenzy Plant here just so I can do any chip damage whatsoever here because I had a feeling they're about to get to their charge move. But we do get 2 shields. So this is actually, I'm okay with this. We're going to go ahead, let this go through. We're going to come in with Mawile and go for that Play Rough now to take out the Trevenant as they do land the Shadow Ball. So Mawile is going to have to come in. We will have to trust in Galarian Stunfisk to close this game for us. But one thing that I found playing with Mawile is it's really refreshing to have a high energy gaining fast move on it now with Fairy Wind. So we're going to go ahead and shield. Unfortunately, it was Seed Bomb. Oh man, I was just messing up left and right. But we're going to go ahead and go for the Play Rough. But they do get to another charge move, and I don't think this was enough for Shadow Ball. Nope, it was just another Seed Bomb, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and go for the Play Rough now. So, we're in a very tough situation here where there is a Bastiodon. We don't know what's in the back, but we will see the Bastiodon comes in. We're going to load up on energy, and then once I'm at a Play Rough, I'm going to go ahead and swap out just in case there's a Medicham in the back. But there's a Shadow Victory Bell. Hello, how are you doing today? Getting ready to get boomed is how you're doing. We're going to go ahead and go straight for this Earthquake. Oh, you love it. Boom! One-shots the Shadow Victory Bell, and the Bastiodon comes in, and that is a good game. Very well played. All right. Moving into the next one, we have Venusaur on the lead versus Sableye. Okay, so this is kind of a tough one. We're just going to stay in right here, and I'm going to try to get to this Frenzy Plant. I also want to try to catch the Foul Play there, but I don't catch it on the Mawile, but they're staying in. They stayed in. Now, a Shadow Victory. What is up with all the Shadow Victory bells? They decided to come in. This Play Rough here is resisted, but my goodness, it still hurts. Look at that damage. We're going to be able to get to a Power-Up Punch in time. Now, what I could have done is gone for Power-Up Punch and then Play Rough, and also you guys could run Iron Head if you want to, but we do get a shield right there anyways. Do I get to another Power-Up Punch in time? Yes, I do! We're about to get 2 shields here from a Shadow Victory Bell. This is so much fun. And nope, they decided to let it go, but not enough to take it down. That is unfortunate. Alright, we're going to come in with the Venusaur now, and I am going to decide to shield here just in case this is Sludge Bomb, but it is just going to be a Leaf Blade. Alright, we will see the Sableye come in, so we do get the Frenzy Plant off. This should be forcing that final shield, and we're going to have to go into the Galarian Stunfisk here, and it was a CMP tie. So, we're going to go ahead and shield. This is going to be tough, because I don't know what they have in the back. We're going to go ahead and shield, load up on energy. I'm going to try to catch it, but no, they do get to another one in time. I had forgotten that they got off a lot of Shadow Claws there versus, we're going to have to swap now, versus the Mawile. And there's a Wigglytuff in the back. My goodness. Alright, Galarian Stunfisk is going to take this one as we do have that Steel typing to resist Charm. So that's going to be a good game as we do land the Earthquake. And then we just need to overload on energy and go for this Rock Slide right here. I should be throwing it, but that's alright. I'm just going to go back-to-back Rock Slides to close this game out. So they do land the Ice Beam, which still does a decent amount of neutral damage. We're going to go for the back-to-back Rock Slides here and go ahead and take out the Wigglytuff, and then the Sableye is out of energy and extremely low, so we should be able to close this one out. We're going to go for that Earthquake, not back-to-back Rock Slides, sorry, the Earthquake here to close it out, because this is going to do enough neutral damage, and that is going to be a good game, very well played. But what I'm trying to show here is that Mawile has some viability now. It's pretty deadly. Alright, we got a Medicham here on the lead. We obviously need to be watching out for the Psychic. Ice Punch as well is pretty deadly, but Psychic is what the big one we're looking out for, and we can force a shield here with Frenzy Plant. Now what's really cool is trying to catch a charge move now on Mawile, so we're going to go ahead and swap, and they do decide to throw the charge move here. Mawile is going to be resisting that Psychic and the Ice Punch. Now it was a Power-Up Punch, which is unfortunate, but we are also doing super effective damage with the Fairy Wind, the new fast move here. So we're going to go ahead and let it go through. They are looking to go for all Power-Up Punches, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and just go for a Play Rough to get that final shield from them. They're obviously deciding to stay in, and this Power-Up Punch damage is going to go nowhere against Venusaur. So we're going to go ahead and just, that's fine. We'll sacrifice the Mawile here. This is perfectly fine with me. We got 2 shields now, and we can come in with Venusaur and just go for a Frenzy Plant and take out the Medicham, because these these counters really, I mean, they're still doing a decent amount, but it's not like this is lined up against Galarian Stunfisk. We do shield, and it was another Power-Up Punch. Alright. We're going to go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant now. Get this Medicham out of there, and let's see what they have in the back. Back Pokemon is going to be... okay, an Umbreon, that's fine. We're going to load up to Frenzy Plant, go ahead and throw it here, and then we're going to be going into the Galarian Stunfisk, as we may have the only counter to Galarian Stunfisk out of the game with that Medicham, and they're deciding to stay in as well, so they must be weak in the back. It might be another Galarian Stunfisk, it might be a Bastiodon. It honestly could be anything, but Galarian Stunfisk with a shield obviously can do very well, especially with the Venusaur still alive. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Earthquake. And we'll just have to close this one out as Earthquake does a lot of damage. We are going to commit to the farm down now, and Foul Plays just don't do that much damage. But Play Rough, right, on the Mawile can threaten, absolutely threaten a Medicham, and you're only taking neutral damage from counter. And what's really cool, especially with this lineup, granted, like I said at the beginning, we are weak to Talonflame, but in situations where there is a fighter on the backline or there is a Swampert on the backline, a Venusaur lead, if you lose that lead maybe to an Altaria, you come in with the Mawile as we boom the Bastion. You come in with that Mawile and you draw out the Medicham. You draw out the Swampert. They want to go against that because traditionally they can do better in that matchup, but not anymore because of Fairy Wind and Play Rough. Alright, we got another Araquanid here on the lead. We're going to go ahead and swap swap out into the Mawile. They're deciding to stay in, and they're staying in far too long. Here comes a Jellicent. We're going to go ahead and go for Play Rough now. And this is what's great, too, with Mawile is the neutral damage. Play Rough just does so much damage, and you get to it extremely quickly. This is very nice. Now, I make a slight mistake here. I'm going to go ahead and shield the potential Shadow Ball, obviously. But I make a mistake of them, me thinking that they will commit a shield here, seeing how much damage Play Rough did. So I go for a power-up punch. But they're going to go ahead and let it go through. That is very unfortunate for me. So now I'm going to have to go for a Play Rough. I should just be going straight Play Rough in this situation. I'm here to force those shields from my opponent. And we do take switch, so we got a Rakuten now against our Galarian Stunfisk, which is fine by me. And they decide to bring it back in. Mind you, I am boosted with Power-Up Punch, now debuffed with Bubble Beam. But that is okay because these Play Roughs are just going to be chunking the Araquanid, and we heavily resist Bug Bite, which is completely fine by me. Play Rough, yep, already at 50% HP. That is perfectly fine. We're going to try to go for another one here, but they do get to another Bubble Beam. I don't think I can make it to the Play Rough. This is going to be extremely close. So I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Power-Up Punch. Get as much chip damage as possible, and then we will be bringing in the Galarian Stunfisk here to the Araquanid and load up on some energy. Now, we'll have to see what that final Pokemon in the back is going to be, but they're already going to be debuffing us, which is fine. We can tank it. That's okay. And let's see what it's going to be. We're going to go ahead and overload just a little bit, go for the Rock Slide now. They're not swapping out, which tells me maybe they are weak in the back, so we need to be careful about how low we let it go. And it's actually a Tentacruel in the back, and I'm like, oh no. I decided to swap into Venusaur as well. I did it instinctively, and it was going to be an Acid Spray. And Tentacruel with 2 shields. To mind you, Tentacruel now has Scald. If you guys haven't seen my video on it, I do have one on the channel. I tried it out myself. It is so good, and I think I'm about to get wrecked right here. But we do get to the second Frenzy Plant in time. This is huge for us right now because it's going to be forcing that final shield, and now it's going to be up to Galarian Stunfisk, and I have to call the Scald. We're going to go ahead and shield this one. It was an Acid Spray. No, it was an Acid Spray. One more. I'm at the Earthquake. CMP tie. But because Tentacruel now has Scald, it gets to it in time. Boom! I get one shot. Good game, Tentacruel. And Tentacruel is honestly amazing if you guys haven't tried it. Alright, moving next, we got Venusaur now versus Lantern here on the lead. Good lead for us. We see a Medicham come in, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Frenzy Plant now. And once again, we are going to try to catch the charge move on our Mawile. We landed as well, so we're going to go ahead and just swap straight into Mawile. Medicham, we saw that Power-Up Punch, it needs to land like 3 of them in order to take us down, so there's 1. But it is already low enough where we can just go straight for a Power-Up Punch ourselves and just commit to the farm down. That way when we're facing off against this Lantern, we will be able to, they get to another one in time, which is fine. We will now be able to do heavy neutral damage with Play Rough. So we're going to go ahead and farm down with Fairy Wind. And then we will actually see a Nidoqueen come in. Now, this is a Nidoqueen, mind you, resists Play Rough, but I want you to see how much damage this does. This is 1 Power-Up Punch and a Play Rough. It gets it to about 50% HP. Resisted damage against a Nidoqueen. That is pretty huge when it comes to that much damage. Poison Fang as well is fine. We're going to swap into the Galarian Stunfisk now to draw back out that Lantern because Venusaur should be able to close this game out, and we are doing super effective damage with Earthquake, which means we are forcing shields. So as long as we can maintain shield advantage, we are looking very, very good to close out with Venusaur because we've seen the core now of Lantern and Nidoqueen. So we're going to go ahead and let these Surfs go through. This Lantern can spam them. It's very, very spammy, which is cool. For Lantern, tough for us right now in this situation, as the Surf will be nearly taking us out. We do get to the Earthquake in time to force that final shield. And this should be a good game, very well played, as the Earthquake does, boom, takes out the Lantern. And then we will see the Nidoqueen come in. So we're going to go ahead and swap straight into Venusaur and then just Vine Whip down. In these kinds of situations where a Nidoqueen still has a shield and I don't get to 2 Frenzy Plants in time, We just need to fast move down right here. So this is definitely a race with fast moves, and they are ramping up their damage with Poison Fangs, or debuffing us, ramping up their Poison Jab damage, but we should be able to take it out, and that is a super close but good game. Very well played. But yeah, this team was super fun to use. Again, disclaimer, I had a rough time against Talonflame, so much so that I didn't even want to show the game because Talonflame just deletes this whole team in one go, especially when it comes in on the Mawile. But overall, it was fun. If you guys want to try something different than Venusaur, by all means, try something else. But I think Galarian Stunfisk and Mawile backline is pretty cool with a anti-fighter, anti-Swampert lead. Whatever you want to utilize for that, there's a lot of good options. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.